Welcome to episode 8 of Model Airport Reviews powered by Tradewinds. Today I will be reviewing 20 of your model airports. This is the last regular episode of this season of Model Airport Reviews. This episode, 3 more airports will progress to the grand finale. You'll be able to vote on your favorite airport featured in this video through the link below. In total, we'll have 24 grand finale progressors after this episode. In next week's video, those 24 will be shrunk down to a top 16. That top 16 will compete in a live grand finale. Now, let's review your model airports. The first airport of today is Pang Airport in France. And wow, how lovely does this model airport look. On the left, a long terminal with a lot of aircraft stands and the terminal itself consisting of lights and moss on the roof of the terminal and the ATC tower. Scrolling a bit to the right, we see a bunch of taxiways with aircraft on there, with a lot of signs on the ground indicating to the pilots where they should taxi to, and a lot of aircraft models on this model airport. Zooming into a single aircraft parked at the gate, we see that there is a bunch of ground service equipment, like this catering truck and baggage carts with around them airport workers. At this Ethiopian A350, a queue is waiting to board this aircraft. And this Atlas Air 747 is being serviced with a bunch of baggage carts around the aircraft, and I like the lighting that this image has. It looks so realistic and could have been real life. An overview of the airport shows just how much is going on here with a lot of aircraft models. Great work on the terminal design and building. Also great work on all of the ground markings, as this is a superb model airport to start with. The next airport is Heavenport Regional Airport. And what a fantastic diorama airport this is. He's not only built an airport but a bunch of scenery around it. A huge hill with on the left cars entering a tunnel underneath the hill. And the road runs all the way around his model airport to the other side of the airport, where he has got a pond with a bridge over it, which I find so cool to see. The airport itself then features the GeminiJets terminal, around which are a bunch of USA Airlines and many ground service equipment vehicles. Nice to see is that he added floodlights that actually work himself around the terminal, which gives a lovely effect. And also going to the remote stands where he has got cargo operations going on, there are floodlights. And also here a bunch of ground service equipment. Really a fantastic model airport, with some fascinating diorama building around it. We go to London, where we have London Heathrow Terminal 5A, a recreation of it. In the 1:400 scale, most of the things you see here are 3D printed. And it's a stunning looking terminal. Really awesome work on recreating the actual terminal. He's got a nice lineup of British Airways aircraft on the airport. And there really is a lot of place for miniature aircraft around the terminal. Just look how many aircraft stands there are. It's nice to see that around every aircraft there is a bunch of ground handling equipment, and the tiny yellow cones are a great addition as well. All in all, really cool to see this recreation of London Heathrow Terminal 5, with some great grand finale potential, I believe. Airport Review Season 6 is powered by Tradewinds, your shop for 3D printed airport accessories like ground service equipment vehicles, airport buildings, and also 1:500 scale aircraft models. On their webshop tradewinds.shop, use code ARS6 for 10% off your next order. This is Aeropuerto Internacional Aníbal Cavaco Silva in Portugal, a 1:500 scale model airport. It's all built on a pre-built ground mat, but he did add his own twist to it, like adding modeling grass on the bottom of the image. And the best part comes in the dark when the taxiway lighting system starts up, because doesn't this look? I think it's optic fiber that he used to create these really tiny lights, but they are very bright. I'll soon make a tutorial how you can add these optic fiber lights to your own model airport, as this looks fantastic. And also on the top of the ATC tower he's got a light installed. Next up is Bournemouth Airport in the UK, a 1:400 scale recreation of the actual Bournemouth Airport, with a runway with long taxiways and a terminal on the right with a bunch of cars, vehicles, and also a Concorde on display. I really like this image where an EasyJet is being pushed back and there is a Ryanair being serviced on the ground, and there is so much happening. Many vehicles around the Ryanair aircraft. In the background, the terminal, which seems to be 3D printed, I think. A Shell fuel depot. and a bunch of other nice elements in the background. Here as well at a hangar where a Virgin Atlantic 747 is parked, he's got two 3D printed private jets, which seem to depart soon as the passengers are there and they are also being serviced. And like I said, there is lovely scenery on this airport. Behind the terminal he's got a road, a parking lot for car hire, and unmissable is the Concorde of course. And all of the plants, rocks and tiny details here make it really look realistic. All in all, some fantastic work on this model airport. We go to Australia where we have Townsville International Airport. The airport features a runway and a big terminal with space for both narrow body like this small Qantas Link and wide body like this Dreamliner around the terminal. A nice detail are the Townsville International letters that he installed on top of the terminal. My tip for you is to add a windsock and ILS box on the side of the runway. They are both unmissable on any airport and quite simple to make. Here is Gustaf III Airport in St. Bartholomew. The airport very well known for its steep hill right next to the airport runway, giving spectacular approaches of aircraft flying right over people and cars. And this person made a recreation of this airport in his IKEA shelf. He recreated a part of the runway and the famous hill. The hill is created using modeling grass and on there he put some grass tufts and colorful flowers. A Twin Otter aircraft is coming into land and in the background you see a windsock indicating the direction and speed of the wind. I find it a very creative way of filling up your space on the shelf and a nice recreation of an iconic airport. This is Will Airport. It might be the tiniest airport we've seen in this season of airport reviews, but it's a lovely model airport thanks to a lovely clay-built terminal. Using dark grey with blue clay, he made a very nice looking terminal with windows and some texture on the roof. In front of the terminal are jet bridges which are 3D printed, and he's got a nice 3D printed ATC tower as well. The ground service vehicles are 3D printed or made from clay, which if you have a 3D printer in your possession are really cost-effective options. You could consider adding a bit more scenery on the grass like grass tufts, flowers or trees. But for the rest it's a very nice airport. Here is Mago Air Force Base in Fiji. It's a 1:72 scale model airport with a runway close by the sea and the beach and a hangar. In the hangar a aircraft is being serviced. He added some tape on the aircraft and with some cardboard he recreated maintenance tools. The hangar itself is built out of paper I think, and he printed and stuck on some logos. On the side of the hangar, which you can better see in this image, he added some rocks, a sign with do not enter, and then follows the beach, with on there a military truck. He really nicely modeled the beach, which fades nicely into the modeling grass. The modeling grass surrounds the runway, which rounds up the whole airport. It isn't that big, but it doesn't take away that it's a lovely diorama, really great looking. Here is Isakuru Airport in Indonesia, a fictional airport consisting of a bunch of DIY created elements and two nice regional Indonesian 737s. A cool detail are branded Garuda Indonesia ground service vehicles, and also this fuel truck has branding. And on the side of his airport he added the sea with some lovely self-made palm trees. Really exceptional work, and I like the waves in the water. I think if you add more vehicles both here around the aircraft and on the parking lot, and a bit more model aircraft, you will really have a lovely model airport. Here is North Atlantic International Airport, featuring Darren aircraft, and I've got a few tips. Your ground markings look neat, but I think the gate signs of A3 is a little bit too big. Also A4 underneath the Air Force One, it could have been much smaller. And on the terminal side of things, add an ATC tower on top and add some solar panels, jet bridges and floodlights on and around the terminal, which will surely make your airport more realistic. Here is Malaga Costa del Sol Airport, featuring a long terminal which seems to be made out of paper and cardboard, with a bunch of aircraft stands around the terminal. I really like this image, which could have been real life. In the foreground the grass tufts add a great effect, and also nice to see the great amount of TradeWings ground service equipment around this Aer Lingus A330. My tip for you is to add floodlights and a air traffic control tower to your model airport. Fill up the road on the right with a bunch of cars and buses, which will surely make your airport even more realistic. Here is West Coast International Airport in the USA, which is a pre-built airport mat. But I like how he added his own details like grass tufts on top of the printed green grass. He added these gate markings of number 6, number 4 and also he added gate markings like number 6, number 4 and 3 here. And the best part comes at night where the airport lights up as he added some string lights, which looks lovely. I like when people add their own unique twist to a pre-built airport mat like this person has done. Welcome to VC Bird International Airport in St. George. The airport features a long runway with on the top right a terminal and on the left some remote stands. From the top I already like the looks of all of the ground markings. Really detailed, really nicely drawn and very complete. When we zoom into the terminal, we see a DIY built terminal with in front a United Dreamliner parked at the gate. A cool thing to note here is that all of the ground service equipment you see are made from popsicle sticks and toothpicks and all by himself. And he really did a fantastic job on that. Also here these aircraft stairs look lovely. All in all, we're looking at a very nice looking model airport with great budget friendly self-made ground service equipment. Here is Honolulu International Airport in Hawaii, a terminal with aircraft stands around it and a taxiway. Interesting to note here are the ground markings and the ground surface as it's made from paper. I like how he's used different tints of grey paper to create these markings. And another cool detail are the passengers boarding the aircraft from the bus. They seem to be tiny bits of clay. Very cost effective. Here is Mountain International Airport in Switzerland, a runway with a taxiway and a bunch of aircraft stands. The grass tufts on the grass in the middle are a nice detail, as well as all of the gate signs like B6, B5 and B4. I think if you add more ground service equipment like cones, passengers, airport buses and fuel trucks, it will already look more realistic and alive. And also you could add light poles, either real ones that work and I've explained them in this video, or scenic ones like these. Here is another London Heathrow Airport, this time just a runway with taxiways. And what I find cool to see is how a 10-year-old has built this model airport. It features Darwin aircraft like this Aer Lingus, which is a cost-effective and still great looking option. Nice details are the ILS box and the windsock that he added. And like I said, for a 10-year-old, I think you did a really nice job. Here is LAX Airport, built by a 7-year-old. It might not look as realistic as other airports that we've seen in this video, but I did want to show you it because I like the creativity behind this. The ground markings are printed on a sheet of cardboard and they look neat. I like how a train track runs through the airport, functioning as a monorail. Using paper, he has created all kinds of buildings, terminal buildings, and an ATC tower. I think if you have more of these airport mats and place them all around your airport, you'll really have a nice looking miniature airport. Here is Dubai International Airport. Almost everything you see here is made out of paper, including the aircraft models. The terminal looks great and I love that you added lights inside of it. Not only the terminal, but also the runway has lights installed in the ground. The only thing is your airport is very white. See if you can get a tint of grey to function as a ground base. That will really make your airport look more realistic. And that's it for this video. 20 more airports have been reviewed and now it's up to you to choose your favorite one and cast your vote through the link in the description. In next week's video, I will shrink down the 24 chosen grand finalists to a top 16 who compete in a live finale. Stay tuned for that. Thank you for watching to this video. Please consider to like and subscribe and then I will see you in the next video.